Hey, what's up, guys? I'm gonna share a few Pine Barren stories with you, my experiences. Sorry, I'm congested. The allergies are killing me. Well, the first story was like 6.5 years ago, I'd say. I don't know. We went to Bats though, and me and my girlfriend at the time, and then we went off into the trails. And I remember we went off trail deep enough to the point where the bugs, the birds, everything stopped. It was like it was scary. And I was like, Ali, what's wrong? Well, what is that? I was like, did you notice it? And then we heard like a loud thump. You could feel it right through the floor. And I'm like, oh, it's probably just like a branch fell or something. But we didn't hear like leaves rustling hitting the ground. It was just like a thump. And I'm like, huh. So we went up like 300 yards and then we heard like another thump. And I'm like, we felt it and heard it. It was both. It felt like a bomb blew up somewhere. And then she started walking fast, I remember. And I'm like, where are you going? And she's like, I'm getting out of here. I'm like, you know how to get back? She's like, yeah. So I let her walk up like a few hundred yards again, and then I followed behind her shortly after, and a thump again, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm like, I feel like I'm being watched. And as we were like making our way out, we heard like, it could have been a bird, not the thumping, but what we just heard was like flapping through leaves in the tree. It was so weird, like a bird just took off from a branch kind of thing. But it sounded like a loud flap, and I'm like, holy shit, that must have been a big bird. It could have been a bird, I don't know. The sandhill crane, are they there? I don't know, but I don't know if it's season. I have no idea, but that scared me. The other time I was riding my ATV in the Pine Barrens with my buddy, like the story I think I previously uploaded, and like we were out there in this one spot. Um, oh my god! And like I remember we were on our way back. It was pitch black out, and my buddy's nephew ATV shorted, and I'm like, oh shit. So we're like sitting there in the dark. My boy's trying to fix it. He's got the light on it. Oh my god! And all of a sudden we heard like a screech, like it was just like loud. I can't even mimic it or anything. I don't remember really. I remember how it sounds in my head, but it's just like a screech, and I'm like, I look at my friend. I'm like, bro, what was that? Please stop screwing with me. He's like, every time I come to this spot and I leave here, he's like, don't worry. He's like, someone's always screaming at me. I'm like, that wasn't a person, man. I'm like, what are you high? And he was just like, just get. He's like, once we get these things on, let's just get the fuck out of here. I'm like, all right. All we had were the lights from the quad, or one of the quad's lights worked, the other ones didn't. But we got the engine working, and then we're driving out again, and we heard it again. And I remember looking behind me to see because his nephew was behind me. I wanted to make sure he was with me. I always look back, and I look back, and I look at it like I always like naturally look in the distance in the dark, just because I'm always like curious. I saw his little eyes. Like, it could have been animal eyes. I really don't know. Maybe it was family of deer, but it was only like two sets of eyes, and it was just they were staring at me. And it was like ground level, like my level. It was weird. I knew it was my level. It was straight, and like we pulled out of the trail onto the street, and I looked back. It was just pitch black. I'm like, I don't want to go back in there. And I ended up going back in there. And that's when the third story happens. Actually, no, this was in Wharton. We went to the north part of Wharton. We went into the north side because that's closer to me. Since it's 1.1 million acres, so we went to the trails, broad daylight, and we just. I remember me and my buddy rode the we were riding two dirt bikes at the time. We rode in like a mile in. It was far in, I remember, and we got to a point. We just saw this black thing running like from right to left in the distance. He turned his bike around and just bounced. He's like, "Follow me." I'm like, I sucked at riding at the time. I'm like, "No, please don't leave me back here." Broad daylight, but I couldn't see it exactly. It was too far away, but it looked huge. It wasn't a deer. It might have been a person trying to fuck with me. I don't know if I were fuck with us, but holy shit, I was like so spooked because I wish I did. I'm not typed to record shit. I don't record anything. I don't use my phone much. Hence this shit. Um, I don't go out like recording stuff. Plus, when you see it in real life, it's not easy to just whip your phone out and record because you're focusing on getting the fuck out. But yeah, I remember we just left. And, he took us out because he knows Wharton really well. So he took us out, And he just like the whole time he's like, bro, I felt like we were just getting followed. He's like ass close to us, like right behind us. I'm like, I don't know. I said I didn't turn back. I didn't look. But yeah, those are my stories. Nothing crazy. I have other wood stories from other sets of woods, not in the Pine Barrens. I'll make another video for that because I'm always in the woods. I've got so many stories. Just weird shit always happens to me. So anyway, good night, guys.